So real quick, last pick of who I would have taken in the 2022 draft, representing Barnes University. Now, listen, I've already done a video on the Tennessee Titans picks. What I think the good, bad, and ugly. It was awesome. I think the Titans did a good draft. I think they'll have some contributors over these years, and me and J Rob even shared two draft picks, which was Traylon Burks and quarterback Malik Willis. Burks is a receiver. Anyway, listen, trying to wrap this up. I know you guys got better things to do, right? Than to hear me talk about what I would have done after my 2 or 3 months, or I'm actually, selling it short, probably like 6 months of watching tape on these prospects, giving my 2 cents. I would have taken last pick, running back, Zonovan Knight, Bam Knight out of North Carolina State. Titans already took theirs, right? Hassan Haskins. I go live before every pick for accountability purposes and saying who I would pick. Titans took Hassan Haskins in the 4th round. I take Bam Knight in the 6th or 7th round, right? The last pick. What's the difference between the players? And it's not a comparison, but it's the same position. So we're talking about roles. We're comparing roles. What is the role for Hassan Haskins? I already did a video on it, but for contrast here, he's going to be a football player. He's going to be a special teamer. He's going to go out and tackle people. And as a running back, he's going to be very physical. He's going to take care of the ball. He's not going to have very much long speed, but he's going to be a bruiser. Very good in short yardage. Bam Knight, what are you getting? You're getting a elite kick returner. You're getting a high burst change-up running back with physicality. And I would say that Bam Knight does have long speed because he's a really good kick returner. And when his 3 kick returns that I watched last year, once he got in the open field, nobody caught him. And that's the difference. That's the difference in the players. I think that you get a football player with Hassan Haskins, and then with Bam Knight, you get a electric and a game-changing back. Obviously with the proper blocking, but that's what running backs need. But yeah, Bam Knight, man, I think when I watched tape, he wasn't, for the very first time, I really liked his teammate Ricky Person a little bit better. Over the process, he definitely moved up my board. But I always trust my first mind. And I really think that really came from getting information and knowing that he does have some fumbles per every. I think he split carries with Ricky Person at North Carolina State, North Carolina State. And he fumbled a little bit more than what I like, but a lot of it is just, coaching, which a lot of times he gets the ball. The ball is on the end. Like if he's going left, he'll get the ball and he'll keep the ball on the right side. So if you're running left as a running back on the left side of the field, you should switch the ball over to the outside arm so that if there's a defender on the inside and he rakes it, or it does pop out, that the ball more than likely is going to roll out of bounds as opposed to having the ball on the inside. If it gets stripped, it's going to go to the inside of the field. So some of the fumbles, I just see a guy fighting for yardage. And there's psychology to that too, because when you're sharing carries, sometimes you try to do too much because you're sharing carries like it's a competition. Like, that if we're in an offense and the hot hand is being rode, I have to do what I have to do to be the hot hand. And sometimes you sacrifice ball security in the sake of competition. And that's coaching. That's experience. But I think Bam Knight, just a very physical runner, man, just to keep it simple, man. And he ended up being an undrafted free agent. This is a late round guy. He should have probably been drafted, but late round guy. This is a late round selection. And he ended up signing with the Jets with Joe Douglas, who's had a phenomenal start to his New York Jets career as a general manager, just hitting it out the park with signings, with waiver claims. I'm telling you, the Jets will be legitimate. They're in a tough division, um, with the Dolphins, the Patriots, and Bills. They're in a tough division, but they're gonna give all those teams a run for the money, man. I'm telling you, Joe Douglas has did an awesome job. He picked up Bam Knight. Now, I'm not just saying Bam is a world beater, right? But very good back for that value. That's who I would have taken. And that concludes who I would have taken. So let's round it up. First round, I would have taken, I'm not even going to go by rounds, just going to go in order. Would have taken wide receiver, Traylon Burks, quarterback, Malik Willis, defensive lineman, Travis Jones, safety, Nick Cross, offensive tackle, Kellen Deesh, wide receiver, Jalen Naylor, cornerback, Monteric Brown, wide receiver, Derek Young, and running back, Zonovan Knight. And those players went to their respective teams. We'll monitor them as their career pans out. Will it be another situation like Antonio Gibson being passed up or not creating a draft plan to get Antonio Gibson instead of Darrington Evans? Will it be another shared draft pick success where me and J-Rob liked Elijah Molden, who was their best contributor last year, who we shared? This year we share Traylon Burks and Malik Willis. Who knows how that go? How that will go. And then there's countless times over the years. I know a lot of people remember the old 2017 where they took Corey Davis and Adoree Jackson, who they played week 1, by the way. Corey Davis got that get back though last year, but they play Adoree Jackson and the Giants week 1, and that'll be interesting. But I would have taken Christian McCaffrey at 5, and I would have taken Tre'Davious White where they took Adoree Jackson. So you look at that. Corey Davis and Adoree Jackson. Adoree Jackson is a top, 30 cornerback in the league on his second team. Big contract, though. Corey Davis, no longer a Titan as well. Top, 15, 20 wide receiver in the league or later. Then you look at Christian McCaffrey. You look at Tre'Davious White. I think Christian McCaffrey is the top 5 running back in this league. And then you look at Tre'Davious White when healthy. Both of these players when healthy. It's part of the game. It's not like Davis and Jackson has been, the bill of health either. But you look at the peak of the players that I would have taken. And this has happened for decades, guys. This is why I do this. And I think the logic behind why aren't you on the team? I've been in college front offices. Life has presented higher responsibility than this in the order chronologically of what is supposed to go down in my life. The responsibility that has been presented in front of me, I have found that more fulfilling than using this skill before it's supposed to be used, if that makes sense. So the logic behind those, because there's always people who are like, if you're so good, why haven't you done this? Well, for one, it's not really your business. You sit back and wait and you watch. If you're a fan, you're going to support regardless. But there are responsibilities in front of me that I view more important than knowing how dedicated and passionate I'm going to be once I really start. Once I start, my responsibilities need to be taken care of first. once I start, because I know that my dedication is going to be next level. So that's your answer. And that concludes this video and your series on what the Barnes University would have done in the 2022 NFL Draft.